Hello students, welcome to Learning Science Q&A. Students, we are here today with class 8 next chapter Chemical Effects of Electric Current. This is our first lecture in the same chapter. Now, first of all, what are conductors and non-conductors? I know this is very basic if we talk about the chemical effect of electric current. But before starting the chapter, we must know about the conductors and the non-conductors. Materials which allow electric current to pass through them, they are considered good conductor of electricity. Same way, materials which do not allow electricity to pass through them easily are known as the poor conductor of electricity. If we want to test whether a substance or a material is a good conductor or a poor conductor, we can do a simple experiment by taking just one simple cell. Take a cell, connect it with a bulb that can glow to tell you whether the electricity is getting passed or not, and connect its wire to the conducting material that you want to test. If the bulb glows, this will tell us that the material that you are testing is a good conductor of electricity. Similarly, if by doing the same experiment you see your bulb is not glowing, we can say that the material that we are using as a test material is a poor conductor. Now let's see. Here in this example, for good conductor, we are using the metal part of this material, this screwdriver, right? While for testing the poor conductivity, we are using the plastic coated or the insulated part of the screwdriver. So we can easily tell by looking at this experiment that metals are good conductor of electricity, whereas plastic or rubber is a bad or poor conductor of electricity. Now just see a list of substances that we can classify as a good or a poor conductor. Lemon juice. In fact, many other acids are considered good conductor of electricity. Vinegar, acetic acid, all the acidic solution H2SO4 or sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, HCl HNO3, they are all considered good conductor of electricity. Similarly, the basic solution NaOH and other basic solutions are also considered good conductor. Along with that, salt water, tap water or sea water are considered good conductor. Just because tap water has some amount of salt dissolved in it, also sea water has a good amount of salts dissolved in it, and these salts get dissociated into their ionic component when they are in a dissolved state. So the reason why all these liquid are good conductor of electricity is that they can dissociate into their ions when they are in a dissolved or a molten state. Now coming to the poor conductor. Always remember, distilled water has negligible amount of ions dissolved in it, so it's a poor conductor of electricity. Coal tar, being a amorphous fluid, is a poor conductor. Honey, vegetable oil and kerosene, they are all example of poor conductor of electric current. Now coming to how do liquid conduct electricity. Students, we have already said that liquid when dissociate into their ion, they are conducting electricity. Now we will discuss this point that how exactly liquid state dissociates into its sign into next chapter. Right now we will just see the basic or the starting part of liquid conducting electricity. Conducting liquids are also known as electrolytes. That means those liquid, because we have seen some liquids that are non-conducting, kerosene, honey, distilled water. They are liquid but they are non-conductor. So conducting liquid can also be called as electrolyte, and these electrolytes allow electric current to pass through them, and they favor a chemical reaction named as electrolysis. So we have two terms here, that conducting liquid are also known as electrolyte. Also, electrolyte undergo a kind of chemical reaction which is known as electrolysis. Now, electrolysis is specifically taking place when electric current is passing through a conducting solution. Now, the same experiment, whether a electrolyte, a liquid, is able to conduct electricity or not, we can test it with using this simple apparatus. In the place of electrolyte, you can keep different liquid that you want to test for the conductivity, and you can test whether the bulb which is connected here somewhere is glowing or not. The intensity of glow of bulb will tell you whether the liquid that you are testing is conducting or not. So when the liquid between the two end of tester allows the electric current to pass, the tester becomes complete. That means the liquid that you are using, it has to be a conducting liquid. Only in that condition the electric current will pass through the circuit and the circuit would be completed. And once the current flows through the circuit, it will help in the bulb glow. Alternatively, when the liquid does not allow the electric current to pass, the circuit of the tester here is the electrolyte that we are using. So the circuit of the tester is not complete and bulb is not glowing in this case. Now the bulb glows due to heating effect of current. During our previous classes, class 7th, we have studied about two effects of electric current. One is the heating effect of electric current. Another one is the magnetic effect of electric current. And in this class, we are about to study about the chemical effect of electric current. So just a small recap, what is the heating effect of electric current? See, when electric current is flowing, it produces heat and a high temperature such that it makes the filament of the bulb glow. So the bulb filament glows due to the heating effect of current. The excessive heat which is generated when the electric current is flowing through the filament of the bulb makes it glow. The same phenomenon of heating effect of current is also used in equipments like heaters, room heater, geysers, and immersion rods, where the heat which is produced by the flowing electric current is used to maintain the room temperature and many times to get hot water. So, is it possible that a bulb is not glowing even when the circuit is connected with a conductor, or you can say is a conducting material? Yes, this is possible. Sometimes the bulb does not glow. This happens if the current which is produced in the circuit is very low or is very weak. Now, in this case, we are talking about the material which is actually conducting, which is a conductor of electricity. Please remember, we are not saying it's a good conductor or it is a best conductor. But yes, it can conduct some amount of electricity. But still, that conductivity is not as good or as easy as the metals. So we'll say कि it may happen sometimes that the bulb is not glowing even when it is connected with a conductor, and this will happen if the current produced in the circuit is too weak to make the bulb glow. And the same phenomenon is seen in case of the light emitting diodes or the LEDs. You must have seen LEDs bulb, these small bulbs mainly used during the function. So these bulbs glow even when very weak electric current is flowing through it. Now, this is how these LED bulb look, and they are used in festival for different decorative lamps. Now, these bulbs are known as LED, and they are having two wires. One of them is slightly longer than the other, right? The longer one is always connected with the positive terminal of the battery, shorter one is always connected with the negative terminal of the battery, and these two wires are known as LEDs. So these bulb can glow when even very weak electric current is flowing through it. And yes, we have seen this in case of these water sensor diyas or candle, where you need to put these candles or diyas in simple tap water only, and next time when you are using it, just try to put a pinch of salt in the water and see the intensity of their light. Salt, being a good conductor, will make them glow even more brighter. Also test these with the distilled water. Okay. Now coming to the magnetic effect of current. Magnetic effect of current can be illustrated with the help of a simple apparatus. Now student, again I will remind you that this is the portion from your class 7th syllabus. If you find any query in this, please comment, or you can just go back and see in your textbook from previous class. Now, we can take a discarded matchbox, wrap wire around it like this, place a small compass needle inside it, and this is connected to the battery. A tester material can be kept inside it. Again, the tester material, if it is conducting, it will produce a electric current, or it will help in the continuous flowing of the electric current, and any electric current flow will be indicated by the deflection of the compass needle. So the bulb will glow in case of the previous apparatus, or the magnetic needle will show the deflection if the liquid that we have taken in the beaker is a good conductor of electricity. The intensity of electric current produced will be indicated by the deflection of the needle. Greater the deflection, higher or the stronger is the electric current produced. Similarly, brighter is the light, better is the conductivity of the liquid. So to check whether our liquid or whether the liquid material that we are testing is a good or a poor conductor, you can add a simple 2 drops of acid in it that is always available at our home. You can add vinegar in it, or you can test it with a pinch of salt in it, and you can check the deflections. So students, in this lecture we are doing till here. In next lecture we'll continue. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.